were you able to discuss with the girls their communications with family members over the computer?
We told them we would prefer not, because lots of times they wouldn't get accurate information from cousins and friends and stuff. I said, if you want information, you ask your workers and stuff.
Did you have any rules on what the girls could or could not do in terms of communicating with family by use of computer outside the home?
We just asked them not to. But that didn't stop them just because we asked them not to.
From your perspective, did the girls' communication with family members over the computer lead to any changes inside your household?
Oh my, it deteriorated like a rock and water. It was a mess. They didn't have to listen to us anymore. They could have what they wanted. We, for all intents and purposes, believed that the aunt was giving them expensive phones, like the ones that you can use as a computer and things also. And she would call the day that the state Supreme Court found in their favor. She called down here and demanded to speak to her nieces. They were hers now. They're family. You have to let me. And I said, I have to get some direction on this. I said, I don't know what I should do. She said, well, you should let me talk to my nieces right now. And I said, I need some time to find out. I said, you could be Joe Blow and I wouldn't know it. I said, I need to find out what's going on. So the next day I called Angela DeVos. That's with Chassie, I think. That's her name, because I didn't have many conversations with her. And
I promise we'll come back to that. Can I ask one question before we move on to it? About how much time passed, as best as you can recall, between this phone call from the aunt the day after the Supreme Court decision you referenced, and when the girls first, to your knowledge, started using computers outside of the home to...
Well, they had already, because that's how they found out that she was in the court process.
How much time was there in between those two events? The girls' use of the computers to speak with family and when the aunt called you about the decision in the Supreme Court?
I don't know.
And so were you able to raise these issues then with Pam?
Well, she tried her best to help. I mean, she counseled them. She did anything she could to pacify them. And, she had them at times where they were almost okay. But then once actual sight became of the aunt, then it was just downhill. It was a mess.
Did you ever have to call the police because of something either one of the two girls did?
Yes.
When was that? Approximately.
There was 2 different times. Well, they kept going over. There's a subdivision, right, just a half a mile down here, a little brick building that also has a park adjunction to it. And I didn't know it, but when they would ask to go to the park, they were really going to the police station and telling them all sorts of things about us, that they were just the same as slaves. And so one day we had asked Dariana to do something, and she refused. She was not doing that. And she hollered to she said, go to police, go to police, go to the telephone thing outside go to the telephone outside the police station. So she took off and went running down there. Well, Dariana was she was hitting him. She's a big, not heavy-wise, but she's a tall, big girl. And, not that she was able to hurt him, but it just wasn't the appropriate thing for her to be allowed to get away with. So Dashia got a hold of him, and I went ahead and made a report that we had an out-of-control teenager that we could not get under control.
And was that report related to something that Dariana had done?
Something I think that she wouldn't do. I don't know that it was something that she had done,